covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
New at 6, Chico is set to get a new aquatic center. We'll tell you how soon you can hit that slip and slide. Plus,
he was cheated out of watching his children grow.
Honoring the life of a veteran, how one foundation helped a local Gold Star family. But first, and new at 6, how you can stay fire safe this holiday weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend and we are tracking higher temperatures, dry conditions, which could mean potential for fires, but we do have live team coverage. Boy, that looks nice out there on the river there. Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon is tracking the weather conditions for us, but first, let's check in with Sade Pullen, live in Chico. Sade, I know you spoke with experts. What did they say about fire safety?
Yes, Alan. So they say that grilling and towing trailers could potentially start fires, and they're emphasizing the need to be cautious. Cal Fire Battalion Chief John Gaddy told me that when grilling, to make sure that the grill is away from the house and to have a fire extinguisher on hand. He says for those turning on their grills for the first time this year, be aware that some components could not be working. He says it's important to have precautions in place, like cleaning any grease. We also spoke with people in the community to see what they do to keep safe.
If you do go and recreate at some of our waterways, be sure there's a designated campfire spot or a designated barbecue. We don't really encourage or want people to take some sort of barbecue out to these areas where the potential of a fire happening. It's starting to get warmer, it's starting to get drier.
Well, I guess the most important thing is to know the rules of the area. Because when you go to a park site area that's controlled and monitored by the state, then you need to know the rules.
If you are towing anything this weekend, Chief Gaddy says to make sure that the chains are not loose and not dragging. He says when chains or equipment drag, it can spark flames. He recommends doing a safety inspection before towing a trailer. Now, Chief Gaddy says also when towing to make sure that all the tires are up to date and to check your tire pressure. He says if a tire gets blown, it could get down to the rim and start flames. Reporting live in Chico, I'm Sade Pullen, Action News Now.
And thanks, Sade. And one more reminder from the experts. When you're in, you set a campfire, make sure it is completely out before you leave the area. Let's turn now to Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon, keeping track of the Memorial Day weekend because they call it the unofficial start to summer.
Absolutely.
And it's feeling a little more summer-like, Howie?
Yeah, we've been a little up and down lately, Alan. We're going to warm up again tomorrow, but we're going to cool down again on Sunday and even into Monday before we get launched to places we haven't been yet heat-wise for this season, and we'll get into it over the next 30 minutes. First, we'll check on some more fire weather we'll start off with the wind variable. Winds aren't too bad. Remember, we had red flag warnings to start off the week. Winds were gusting over 40 miles per hour. Now winds, for the most part, on the much lighter side, so very much easier to control fires when the winds start to settle. Temperatures have come down, so we're not going to dry out as quickly, and those fuels that are starting to cure won't do it as fast with the lower temperatures. But humidity levels, as we did cool, they did go up a little bit. So more moisture, more water, not good for fire, or safer for fire. Really quick, here's what we got tomorrow. So temperature-wise, here is what we have. We will heat up tomorrow, but the winds, they stay on the lighter side. Humidity levels, so, but we're going to keep our fire levels, our safety for fire, we're going to keep it on the low side, and that is very good. And we're going to talk more about our warm-up, cool-down, and then our heat up coming up soon, Alan.
Thanks, Howie. The Redding Aquatic Center is kicking off the summer season with a special event tonight. It's actually underway and free for the whole family. Waterama is dubbed. It'll happen until 7. The event features free swim for the whole family, along with life jacket giveaway and swim lessons. With temperatures in the mid-80s and rising, sun shining through, the Aquatic Center anticipates as many as 500 people coming out for the event.
Everybody has an experience here, whether it be taking swim lessons here or swimming here. This pool's been around since the 1950s, so it's really a generational gem for us here in Reading, and being a part of that legacy is an honor.
Today marks the 22nd anniversary of the Aquatic Center, dedicated to the city of Reading. From now until June 9th, the Aquatic Center will only be open on weekends. New details, we're getting a first look at a new golf course in Chico now in the works. The Chico Area Recreation and Park District, or CARD, says that Beyond Golf Chico will have 9 short-range holes, like a par 3 golf course. This course is at DeGarmo Park, right off of the Esplanade. The course will also be free to play for those under the age of 18. CARD says its mission is to provide low-cost access to recreation.
A project like this is something new to CARD, where we can provide a very technical, a new sport to the community, and do it where it's well aligned with our mission, which is great.
Organizers say that it could be open as early as this fall. The Beyond Golf project began in October of last year. They're still in the phase 1 though. Phase 2 will start hopefully in 2027, and that'll include a restaurant, an indoor simulator for golf, and an 18-hole putting course. New at 6, Reading Police Neighborhood Policing Unit arrested 2 men in connection with a violent assault. Police arrested 25-year-old Carlos Bishop and 24-year-old April Escobar on Wednesday after a search warrant on their home on Willis Street. Police say Bishop hit multiple people with a gun, and Escobar attacked a female victim, going as far as stomping on her head last Friday along Bejan Lane. Both face multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon. Memorial Day weekend, as we've said, is underway, and one nonprofit group is making sure veterans' sacrifices are never forgotten. Action News Now reporter Jerry O'Lennon shows us how the Tunnel to Towers Foundation helped a Chico family.
Beth Ann Ponce lost her husband, Greg, 18 months ago to cancer at the age of 43, a result of exposure to toxins while deployed in Afghanistan.
He was cheated out of watching his children grow, experiencing this life, all the way through to the end, but I guess he was on a different timeline.
Beth Ann is now raising their 2 children on her own. For years, she continued making mortgage payments on the family's home. 15 years remained. That financial burden has now been erased by Tunnel to Towers, a nonprofit organization that helps Gold Star families like Beth Ann's.
For me, it's a blessing, but at a huge cost. But it takes away that financial burden and makes sure that I can continue to provide for the children.
Though the grief of her husband's loss remains, Beth Ann finds strength in her children, the support of her community, and the lasting memories of the man she loved. In Chico, Jerry O'Lennon, Action News Now.
Beth Ann says she was inspired by the care that her husband received during his treatment, and now volunteers on the patient. She volunteers on the Patient and Family Advisory Committee at the Enloe Cancer Center. Local people are honored the fallen who served our country with the poppy. We show you the meaning behind the flower. But first, one Anderson restaurant will be soaking in the spotlight. We'll show you why.